Girl, this morning I had a big old bowl of sucaritas. It was so good.
Girl, don't you mean Frosted Flakes?
Well, in our culture, girl, I've also heard los del tigre. So,
and what do you call Fruit Loops?
Fruity Loopies, mama.
Oh, los del tucán, right?
There you go. And I also really like the rooster one.
You mean cornflakes?
Oh my God, wait, that is cornflakes. The rooster one is cornflakes, but we call it
cornflakes.
Well, let's keep it 100, girl. My mom called every cereal under the sun cornflakes.
The Special K too.
The Special K too, girl. My mom called literally growing up.
Everything is cornflakes, period.
Comment below. You already know.
So, Mia, are you teaching her like the different flavors, or are you calling them all cornflakes too?
I refer to them just like my parents did growing up because I actually find it really important to teach Mia both English and Spanish. Not just the language, but really incorporating like the lingo that we use. I will literally like bring out cereal and be like, you want cornflakes? You want sucaritas? Because I want that implemented in her just like we grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And mama, that's why they say Kellogg cereals are on mom's tables aquí y allá. Period.
Welcome back to Chins and Giggles, episode 28, y'all.
You guys, we are dressed up today.
Well, we just got out of prison, y'all.
Girl, it's giving inmate for sure.
It's giving orange is the new black, girl. There's a lot of orange. Y'all have to see the visuals.
Yes, if you guys are listening in, Myra and I have some Halloween pajamas, some orange PJs that have like little graphics. It says boo. We got some candy corn, some little ghosts, spiders, cats. Because
they're so cute.
October is literally in a couple days. Like, yes. It's here. It's
October
spooky season.
Is here.
Spooky season is officially here, bitch.
Yep.
So we were like, let's dress up, maybe cute little PJ vibe. And then we got the cameras rolling and we were like, bitch, it's giving inmates.
I was like, hold on. It's a lot of orange. But that's Halloween, you know.
And just give us one more week. I know we've been telling you guys that we're going to upgrade our little spooky vibe here because I feel like there's some areas that need some help. Next week?
I think next week we'll be ready.
Next week, we're going to have the whole spooky vibe for y'all.
And I think that's when we're going to start the costumes. What if we don't even know what the fuck.
Actually, we don't even know what we're doing, y'all. I think there's like another episode with my parents too. So we'll see. But
they're going to be dressed up too.
Maybe they should be. I don't know. We'll see.
That would be iconic.
But we are going to have like, the costumes. So we're fucking excited, y'all.
Yep.
We need to go all out with these costumes, Myra.
We do. And really for this episode, you guys, we are saying some spooky stories.
Spooky stories. Talk about like personal experiences.
I'm in a fucking sleepover. This is very like sleepover vibes, like the last sleepover party we had. Sleepover pajama party.
It's like we're doing like pajama vibes, but spooky season, bitch. Spooky season is here. So we thought it would be cool to tell some spooky stories. I just realized that today, the day this launches on the 30th, no? Doesn't, or actually no, it goes up on YouTube on the 30th. The point is, doesn't Hocus Pocus come out today, bitch?
Oh, shit. That's true.
Because, bitch, Hocus Pocus, I've been waiting for this day.
No, because... yeah, I'm going to be...
And then the next episode will have, like, the actual, what we thought of the movie.
We will tell you guys our Hocus Pocus review.
Yeah, because it's literally today. Oh, my God, I'm so excited. But anyways, that's besides the point, bitch. Hocus Pocus is here, and I can't wait to watch it.
Hocus Pocus is here. Oh, yeah, it is. I'm sorry. I thought you meant, like, Halloween. I was like, wait. And I was like, wait.
That
Hocus
too,
Pocus?
Honestly.
You know what? I really hope... by the time you're watching this, we're probably like watching it or something because it's coming out on Disney Plus. Which I'm like, bitch, I wanted to go to the theater and have the full experience. Is that what they're doing or no?
I don't know. If they are, then we'll do it.
Can you Google it really quick?
I don't know, Gorge.
You're like, I don't want to. Imagine. No, because
I'm lazy.
I really want to know. Yeah. Or we could have like a movie night with like our friends.
Oh my God!
And dress up like this.
I'm here for it. We could even dress up like witches and shit, bitch. I was thinking for today, I'm like, maybe I should pull out a witch hat or something, but I was like, save it for October.
It's a lot of orange, Gorge.
It's a lot of orange, and it's giving prison, but we're here for it. You guys, we're going to get straight into some spooky stories. Please comment down below, like, some creepy shit, because I feel like, I don't know what it is about, like, being Mexican. There's so many urban legends So many. There's a lot. First of all, I feel like everybody that's watching could relate when maybe it's not just like Hispanics, but something about being Hispanic. Growing up, there's always that one haunted house.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's always like, oh, this house is haunted. Like everybody knows of that haunted house, you know?
Yeah.
And we could name a lot. We can get deep into it, but I don't know, Maya. I don't know what it is about spooky season starting, but it's odd that it's happening now. Cause I have something weird's happening at the warehouse, bitch.
What is going on, girl?
It's a little weird, Maya. So we moved into the warehouse on June, right?
June.
Because it was right when Hispanic Cosmetics launched. It was in June.
Yeah, it was in June.
So it's been like super good, like
going smooth.
It feels safe, you know. It's been very, like, I've been there really late at night. I've never felt anything. Like, I've never gotten bad vibes from the warehouse. But lately, like, it started like last month or a few weeks ago. It's been like things here and there where we're just like, okay, whatever. So, you know, Ro has his cameras, because we have the cameras obviously, and they're connected to his phone, and it'll tell you if there's like motion detected or if people are detected and stuff. His went off and said person detected, like inside the warehouse, right? So we have the cameras, and it did it twice, like, and it did it in the middle of the night, like,
oh hell no.
It did it like from like anywhere from like 2 to 4 a.m. that window.
Oh my god.
So Raul was like, I don't know why it gave me.
It was that like the devil's hour.
It was like 2 to 3 times that it happened, Myra, because it was more than once enough to catch Raul's attention. Like, why is my phone giving me so many alerts? So he was like tripping, like, did somebody fucking break in or what? Why didn't they call me? So he was like checking the cameras, and right when the motion is detected, you see like an orb.
Huh?
You see an orb. You know those orbs that you see and that people talk about orbs being like spiritual and stuff? You see an orb like fly through the screen. And I'm getting the chills, but I like to think that it was nothing. But there was also a sound involved.
What?
Yes.
Wait, I like to think it was a minute.
Yes, I like to think that it was nothing, because I was like, we're overthinking it, whatever. But you hear like a breath. What? And Raul was the one that caught it. He's like, did you hear that? I'm like, what? And he replays it, and yeah, you hear like a. He says that he hears someone saying, "Hey." I heard like a breathing, like you hear like a breath. And I was like, we're tripping, dude. I was like, that you could hear it, you could fucking hear it, and that you see an orb. That the motion, it literally says person detected. It doesn't say motion detected. It says person detected. And that's when the orb comes through, and that's when you hear like something like that. And I was like, okay, that's a little weird, but whatever. Like,
that's
it could
fucking
be
weird, girl.
I was like, maybe some fucking insects up in there rattling shit. I don't know, you know? I don't know. And I'm like, maybe like some kind of, because even I was like, what if it's wind? And he's like, the warehouse, it's closed, girl. There's no wind going inside the warehouse. A warehouse is a fucking box.
It's not.
It's closed
it's
off completely.
Shut, yeah.
There is literally no airflow in the warehouse.
There is none.
You know, warehouses are like super still in there. Like, you know?
Yeah, there's no airflow at all.
I was like, what the fuck? Whatever. I ignored it, right? So fast forward.
This motion detected? What side of the warehouse, Gorge?
Oh, where the Gemela side.
Of course it is.
On that side, Myra.
You're fucking kidding.
Like in the corner. You know how the camera's like in the corner?
Yeah.
It's like right above like where the table's at, and like
of course.
where all that is at. And it's like facing that area.
Oh God.
Like where we pack Gemela Cosmetics, basically. Yeah. I was like, that corner, I don't know why.
I've never felt a vibe there.
I've never felt a vibe there, but out of the whole warehouse, that's the corner that would be a little weird. Yeah. I don't know, bitch. It's scary.
I get it.
So I was like, Raul, whatever. And he was like, Raul was very like, the fuck was that? Like, that's so weird. And he was like holding on to it for a bit. And I was like, whatever, it's nothing. So fast forward, Myra, like,
there's more.
Not even a week ago.
Oh my God.
Like a few nights ago. Our phone rings at 2 a.m.
Bitch, stop. What is it with this time?
And I was like, who the fuck is calling us this late? And I told Raul, I was like, I don't know why. You know how sometimes you get a call and you're like, it's probably a scam?
Yeah.
And you don't answer? I thought it was one of those things because it was like from Illinois or I don't know where the fuck. I was like, just answer. I was like, answer, because it was like really late. We're like, who the fuck is trying to reach us? This is late. We were literally already like sleeping, Mara. Like, I'm not even kidding. And he answers the phone, and it's security, the security people from the cameras.
Stop.
And they're calling because a person has been detected inside the warehouse.
Stop.
Now, I don't know why we didn't get called. Maybe we did get called the other time, but we just missed it. But they called us to check our cameras because they think that someone's like breaking into our fucking warehouse. Like, literally, like there's people being like, they're detecting movement and people in there or whatever.
Oh my God.
So I was like, what the fuck? That's when I got a little bit freaked out, because I was like, why is it so late and like what?
And then why at that time?
Like, what? This happened last time too at this exact time. I was like, what the fuck? So Raul's looking at his cameras and everything's just like pitch black on the camera. So I get even more scared. I'm like,
oh my God.
And he was even on the phone with them. Like, I'm looking at my cameras and I don't see anything. And they're like, well, it's being detected right now. Like right now, motion's being detected. And we're looking at the cameras and everything's like pitch black.
Oh my God.
I was laying there like, ooh, like I was so scared. Yeah. But Raul was looking around. He's on the phone with them. Like, I don't see anything. What? Like, all the doors are closed. Like, there's nothing moving on the screens. Like, there's nothing there. And they were like, okay, well, make sure to check, when you guys go in. And then obviously the next day, Raul goes to the warehouse and he checks. Like, there's somebody fucking coming. But the alarms didn't go off or anything. So that was weird. The point is, like, they literally called us,
and they go off. I remember once we opened them and we obviously
they go off.
Didn't set up that's when like we didn't know how to unlock the alarm, and shit was going off. It didn't stop till like I was blowing up Raul's phone. Like, yo, can you please give me the code? Like, how the fuck is somebody sneaking in there? Like, it's not possible.
Yeah. So they called us because they were concerned. They thought it was weird. Like, hey, there's motion detected in your warehouse. The fact that they called us, dude, that there were people detected and like, whatever. So we check our cameras. Yeah, nothing there. The next day, Raul goes, and I really genuinely was tripping, Maya. I was like, no, I was thinking logical. I really was. I was trying to not think anything. I told Raul, I was like, well, do we go right now or what? He's like, I'm looking at them. There's no one in the front. There's no one in the back. Like, there's none of the entrances. Like, there's no one in the warehouse. It's literally pitch black. He was telling like, Karina, if somebody was in there, like, lights would be on. Why the fuck are they, or the doors would be open. Like, we're looking at the entrance exit, like, it's nothing there. And I was like, okay, whatever, we'll check in the morning. And I'm still thinking, I'm like, what if somebody fucking like tricked the system somehow and like got in and stole some shit? I really was thinking that. So we go the next day and Raul like is checking around. He's like, no, there was nothing. Like, everything's there. Like, nobody was there. So I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, first we see the motion detections, like literally person detected like on the actual app, and then we're getting calls in the middle of the fucking night to check up on the warehouse because they think there's people in it.
Yeah, they don't just call you like seeing like if it was like
they called us like literally it was like 2 a.m.
They don't just call you for something little.
I was like, what the fuck? Whatever. I was like,
how are they detecting a whole ass body?
That part, Myra, because there is a lot of times like randomly where it says motion detected, and I'm like, okay, maybe there's like a bug or like some kind of like little bit of air lifted a paper and like could be detecting, right? Dust. But it literally, I'm not kidding, Myra, I will show you. It said person detected. Like, how is it detecting a whole ass person up in that bitch? Yeah,
that's fucking.
So that's been a little weird, right? So yesterday we're telling the staff, because yesterday we were making slime. And we're telling them like, hey y'all, like this is like funny, I'm trying to. We're trying to see like.
Why would y'all scare them?
We're not trying to scare them.
They all quit
because I think we were actually just talking in general about like scary stories. So then we bring up, we're like, this is a little weird, y'all, but like our fucking thing went off the other day, and then like this happened, and they called us this other day, and then everyone's like, literally like everyone's looking at each other like, and then my cuñada's like looking at her husband like. Yeah, because like they experienced some shit in the warehouse. Now I'm like, oh my God. Yes, bitch. So apparently, I was like, what the fuck? I guess they had their own little suspicion or some shit. I was like, no. I was like, shut the fuck up. No. I was like, no.
Stop.
This place is not fucking haunted. Because then everybody gets all riled up. Oh, it's haunted. And I'm like, nah. And then somebody else chimes in. Hold on, let me tell you. Let me tell you, Maria. So, bitch, I was like, I still don't want to believe it.
Somebody else chimes in.
So my cuñada chimes in, and she says that they were there. I don't know if it was yesterday, or the day before, that they heard someone knocking on the back door, like where like you pull for that. That they heard someone knocking, like annoying, and they were like, who the fuck is in the back? So that they eventually opened a door and there was nobody there. Like, literally the big door that you open up.
Yeah.
And like, you could imagine it being loud because it's that material.
Yeah.
Like that aluminum.
Yeah.
And that somebody was knocking. And then they kept knocking until they opened the door and that nobody was there. And that they just thought it was weird.
Yeah.
They thought it was a little weird or whatever. And even Raul mentioned, he was like, well, maybe it was one of the neighbor warehouses coming to look for me. And they were like, no, we literally, as soon as we heard like the thing, like we're like, okay, we'll open the door. And nobody was there. And that they were like weirded out by it, but they didn't think anything of it.
And that was what? Did they have another experience?
And then somebody else chimes in, like one of the other like people that we recently hired on. And they I didn't even hear her full story because I was busy doing something. But she chimed in and said something about like that whenever she like parks, that like her car, I don't know. She was mentioning something about like when she pulls up to the warehouse. I don't know exactly what she said. I need to get her full scoop on what she was saying, but everybody was like shook at what she was saying. I just didn't like really hear what she was saying. But I was just thinking like, why is everybody chiming in when like these random stories, like we're like
they all thought like it's my time to tell my fucking.
I think everybody has had little random experiences that they thought were little like coincidences,
a little weird,
and they were just like, okay, that's weird, but just ignored it. And I'm like, what the fuck? I personally will say I have never felt uncomfortable there.
I've never felt
a vibe,
a weird vibe either.
But the cameras were. But
I'm always with like a lot of us there. Like we're never like alone and like creepy,
The cameras were just. That's the only thing that creeped me out, and I hate that because now I'll be at the warehouse and I'll be thinking about shit. And like I've always felt comfortable there, so I don't want to think it. And this could just be a bunch of coincidences.
I need to ask Brian, because Brian will a lot of the times go like alone.
You need to ask Brian because he's been there by himself.
Like I'll send him like if it's like not a lot of orders, and
I have never been there alone.
Now.
Like obviously, like I've never been there by myself.
Yeah, me either. But Brian has like by himself.
I've been there late. I've been there hella late. Where we're there till like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
But then we like clock out and leave. But when we're there, it's like a few people. So I've never been there alone. I've never gotten weird vibes. I've been literally like I'll hang out in one of the rooms by myself and stuff sometimes. And
the fact that when you brought it up, like your cuñada was like looking at her man.
Everybody was looking at each other like if they were saying like I told you type of shit. Like what? I was like, nah, we ain't doing this shit here, y'all.
What? But
I was like, this shit is not haunted.
But out of nowhere too,
not.
like why out of nowhere? Like it like is there a thing
and
where
I'm
like
just like
haunt like a place can haunt for certain seasons?
I was about to say that. I was just like, why is this happening right now? That spooky season's coming up. I was like,
why did the recent person leave?
Because they moved leases, I'm sure. They probably outgrew the
warehouse. That was
the
reason. It was like haunted as fuck.
I'm going to ask the girls if they have any other stories because they were just like, literally like once we started talking about it, I went and I was like doing something. I was like packing some shit. I don't know what I was doing. But they were like ongoing conversations about like weird shit that they experienced. And I was like, no.
What?
I even went up to them. I was like, yeah, this shit ain't haunted. Let's not. I was like, no, we ain't bringing that negativity here. I was like, not that energy at the warehouse gorge.
What?
I was like, we're not.
Oh my God, I really want to ask Brian.
Yeah, that's
and
Brian,
I feel like
girl.
Brian's the kind that would hear something and be like, it's nothing. Like, think
well,
it's nothing.
that's how I am. The cameras and everything, I was like, no. And then like... It was creeping me out with that phone call, creeping the fuck out. I was like, okay, but
yeah, that is weird.
But that's like the most weird, creepy things that have been going on lately with us, like as of recently, like as of the most present time possible, But there's so many like stories. Like I don't know if you've had any like,
well, when we were little, Karina, the trailer, remember?
Oh my God,
hella paranormal shit.
Yeah,
that I'm like, you have to live like through something paranormal to know that you're not crazy. Or that things like that are true. Like you have to vividly see it or hear it.
I have not like vividly seen with my eyes something, but I have seen things. Like I don't explain it. I haven't seen like literally like a ghost in front of my face.
I've
like
literally
this,
seen like visually, like actually seen. Can I say this story really quick?
Yeah.
So when we lived in the mobile home, remember the room?
Okay, guys. So our home where we grew up in was a mobile home, and we had explain the layout. You want to explain to someone who doesn't,
Okay, so there was like a hallway. The hallway, there was our bedroom, small bedroom, and then my mom's bedroom was like a little further.
Yeah, my mom's was at the very end of the hallway.
At the very end of the hallway. And our door, it wasn't an actual like door. It was the slide doors, and you could see like a couple feet under it.
Oh, you could see like 2 inches of like the bottom. I saw that too. I was there.
Yeah.
Right? I remember we had an instant one time where we were hearing shit and we were like seeing shadows pass by, but
No,
we didn't know.
I did. So I remember this night, my mom obviously, she would like every other night she would tell us like, oh, go to sleep already, whatever. And this night, the hallway light was on, so anything that passes through that door by that door,
you see like a shadow behind it.
You see shadows, you see footsteps, like you see actual feet, somebody walking. Like I will say my mom's like actual feet, like walking, because literally it was like, I want to say like 3-4 inches. It was like a big gap
like
where you could see under.
You guys know like back then where maybe it was like, even now it's like those like doors where sometimes they're made out of beads or like some, but ours wasn't made out of beads. It was like I don't know what it was, but it's giving that, like when you have like a store made out of beads, like things like that.
It's giving similar like that, because it wasn't an actual wooden sliding door either.
No,
it would like fold up.
Yeah.
So I remember it was another night and I was looking down and I was like, oh, my mom's passing by, because I heard the deep footsteps. A mobile home, it's a leveled ground.
And you hear the footsteps.
So like every step, like you really hear that shit. You hear the steps. So I remember like hearing it. I'm like, oh, but she wasn't saying anything. I'm like, she's gonna come in and like, tell us to go shut up or something, go to sleep. And I'm seeing it. I'm hearing it, and I start like seeing the shadows, but there was nobody. And I remember visually seeing
the
shadow and hearing like the deep footsteps.
I remember I had seen that too one time.
And I got so creeped out because I screamed out to my mom, and my mom was in the bedroom. Like she was like, what? And I was like, what the fuck was that? And I still remember. I wasn't even like that little. I was probably like freaking 15.
Oh my God, yeah. And that's when like you 14, were like, what the fuck was that?
I don't know how old was I, but I was like, what was that?
So
like,
you were seeing the shadows pass by, but you didn't see the feet.
Yeah, and every night as well, literally it was like a routine. Every single night, dishes would fall. Remember that?
There was like hella noise in the kitchen.
Like you would wake up the next day.
And
like,
I look back, I'm like, was there some fucking rats rattling some dishes or what the fuck?
Because those footsteps, bitch, those shadows were big. I don't think it was a fucking rat.
No, I know, but you know how sometimes you always try to like.
No, I have thought about it. And I'm like,
yeah.
was it like a fucking rat going through the dishes?
No, but there was always dishes. Yes, I remember specifically that house. Yes, there was always dishes like making hella noise.
Yeah, my dad said once he had stepped out like at 2 a.m. to the kitchen to grab some milk, and he saw a bulto by the fridge, and he like ignored it and went straight back to his
bulto,
room.
you guys, in Spanish we like to say like if you saw a bulto, that how I would describe it is like seeing like a silhouette,
a black silhouette,
like a black silhouette, and it's somebody, it's a person, but you just see their silhouette. That's kind of what a bulto is, right?
Yes, that's literally what it is. And he said he saw that. There's so many stories there though. Like I can go on and on, and we have time. I
want to tell like the one that's been the creepiest to me, like that I've experienced in my life, and it's the most like real that I could imagine, because it wasn't just me, it was me and Luis. And it was like, that was the scariest shit, because it was just so scary. Okay, so this is like another house we lived in, the one in Chino Hills.
Yeah, it was the one that we kind of like grew up in when we were younger, before the mobile home.
Like, it was like a few years, but it was like from like age like 3 to 5, 6. I don't know. It felt like a long time because it was our childhood. But I remember we were going to go to sleep, and it's crazy because like grandma's like something about grandma's saying shit sometimes just
they
like
jinx that shit.
They be jinxing shit like they're like low key witches or something, bitch. Something about Mexican grandmas, bitch. They'll be like, "Te va a aparecer el diablo," and then some shit happens.
Like they make it happen.
Cause bitch, I remember we were being loud and rowdy, and my grandma was like, "Go to sleep." My parents were telling us to go to sleep, whatever. But I remember, I don't know what, I guess Hugo, because my little brother Hugo was like a baby at the time, and he needed his bottle. So my mom was like, "Go give me the bottle," to me and Luis, and we were like scared to pass to the kitchen because it was dark, And I remember me and Luis both went to get the bottle, but I guess we were just being loud and we were being rowdy as hell. So my grandma yells, "Se le va a aparecer el diablo," because we're being fucking stupid, and we're just like running around. and we passed by the dining table, like this big dining table, you know, like the formal one, and we hear the loudest pig snore, like roar, like loud and scary, Myra. Like, and I swear on everything that we heard that pig.
Were you guys passing? So I've also, you know how you said you used to just think like logically. Did somebody like move a, you know, when you move a chair?
No, you know why? Because everybody was in their rooms already. Nobody was in that living room. Nobody was in that kitchen. We literally ran to the kitchen to get the bottle, like as the lights were off. You know when you run to the kitchen, turn the light off? It was like that. And on our running to turn the light on is when we heard like loud. And I'm talking like a fucking, like the biggest pig you could possibly imagine. Squeal. The biggest, nastiest, horrendous squeal coming straight from under that table. That like you would think like there's no way there's not a big ass hog like under that table.
Oh, hell no.
Like literally loud, Myra, loud. I remember I was like, ah! Like I lost my shit. And this is one of those things that like me and Luis could both vouch for it and be like, we were both fucking there. We both heard that pig. Like that's and one thing that I'm like, you heard that shit. We both heard it clearly, bitch. And I just remember the pig was just so horrific. The sound, Myra, was so horrific that like that shit stuck with me forever. Like that's the closest to me that I had like with my senses, I guess, like where you hear something and you just felt that shit. It was so scary. But I just remember like I knew whatever the fuck that was under that table was not godly, bitch. It just was horrible. But I don't know.
That house scary. In Chino Hills, bitch, that whole neighborhood was like haunted because we actually had heard that it was like a cemetery before.
Yeah, no, that house was all bad. But if I'm being honest, like I feel like we've experienced more at the other house.
The Chino Hills?
No, the other one.
They're both evenly as crazy.
They both are.
Lupita's house too was like right behind ours. And Amber, they had like a lot of crazy stuff happen there too.
I remember one time we slept over. Didn't like the bed feel like it was like shaking?
Yes, we were sleeping over, and
it was like just
we were the only ones awake. And I remember the bed trembled like if there was an earthquake, and it was just the bed, and it was like really fast, and there was nobody there. Everybody was asleep. It was just me, you, and Lupita, on the bed, and it literally trembled like.
It was so weird.
Like how do you explain a bed shaking?
And like I think about I'm like as a kid was it maybe like we thought, I don't know, but it was some weird shit.
No, I feel like just I do think about that actually, but I also think that maybe kids are more like you see things more and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know because I still remember.
I believe that kids see shit. Jasmine at the same house. Jasmine, when she was like a little kid, some weird ass shit happened at the
We're jumping from the house and Chino house to.
I know it's just like this. This confusing. Is another story.
This was in the mobile home in Montclair.
Yeah, this one was weird as fuck too, Myra. Like I didn't see anything, but I remember like after I realized what was going on, I was fucking like, what the fuck. So my little sister Jasmine, we had little puppies, right? Do you remember when I don't know if it was.
Why am I sitting like this?
You remember when our dog Tinkerbell had like little puppies?
Tinkerbell.
Do you remember Tinkerbell?
What?
She was like a Chihuahua.
Tinkerbell.
I know you're kidding.
Tinkerbell.
Yeah, remember Tinkerbell? She was like our childhood dog.
Tinkerbell.
She had puppies. The point is,
no, because it's like almost like unlocking a memory, but not fully.
Tinkerbell.
Do you remember Come
She
Here
was
Boy?
a Chihuahua. Yeah. We had a dog named Come Here Boy.
Like, because we would be like, Come Here Boy. And by the time we chose his name, he didn't pay attention.
He responded to Come Here Boy.
So he only responded to that.
So that was his name, y'all.
Come Here Boy. Like,
anyways,
wow. Poor thing.
Anyways, so it was like a regular, I think it was, I don't know what day it was. I just remember we were watching, do you remember it would come up on 11 p.m. It would come up. It was Mad TV.
Oh.
I was watching Mad TV and I was probably like 13 or 14 and Jasmine was like a baby. Probably like 2, like dead ass. She was little. Or like 1 because at the time she was like really little.
She was, little.
She was playing under a desk because we had a desk in a certain corner, which is weird because you had nightmares of that desk. Mm-hmm. That specific desk, people have had nightmares about it. It's so weird. And then I'll tell you later what we discovered under the house. Remember?
Oh yeah.
But under that desk,
Oh, my
Jasmine
God.
was like playing. I was watching TV and she was over in the corner playing under the desk. I was minding my own business, watching TV, and I knew she was playing with the puppies, as I thought, because she was like, she was like laughing, talking to like these puppies. And I thought the puppies were never there, bitch. So out of nowhere, she like stands up. She looks at like whatever she's looking at. She looks at me and she fucking screams for her life and runs to my parents' room. Like she looked mortified, Myra. Mortified. Like a little kid, like a 2-year-old. Screaming, running. I was so freaked out because she looked at me the way she looked at me. Like I just got so scared. You know when you just feel that vibe? Like I just got like a rush of anxiety.
Yeah.
And I started chasing after her, running. Like that just reminded me that one time that Jasmine was playing in your room. Hold on. The point is, I got anxiety. Like, I got a rush of anxiety when she did that. Because I just felt some weird shit coming. I don't know why. I just got like, So then me and her are both running to my parents, like, like running.
Yeah.
And then my mom comes out like, ¿Qué le hiciste, pendeja? Like telling me. Because she thought I did some shit to make her cry.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, she saw something. And I was over there all trembling and shit, trying my mom. And my mom like, like, you know, telling me.
Oh my God.
She thought like I hurt her or something. She probably thought I hit her. I don't know, like, you know, whatever. The
Did
point
she ever
is,
believe it?
no, yeah, I told her later. And then I'm sure the next day, like, it was like something like the next day where I told her and she was like, okay, whatever. And she knows about it. But I just remember I was like, what the fuck happened? And I was so scared because I remember, like, no, I made it a big deal. Now that I remember, my dad came out and he was even looking around. And even, my dad's very like, if he thinks some shit's going on, he'll be like, what? You know? And my
dad's very like cuss them
I
out.
remember my dad was like, Salte, like, you know, like saying some shit like, if there's anything here. Because now that I'm remembering, I'm like, no, yeah. I remember my dad coming out and he like he even said some shit because we were just like, what the fuck? That was so weird. Because when I came back out, Myra, like I realized that the dogs were outside the whole time with their mom, with Tinkerbell.
What was she playing with?
So this whole time, where literally for like 30 minutes straight, she was like laughing and talking to something under the desk. The dogs were never there.
Oh my God.
And I tell you, like, when I thought she was having a whole conversation, I thought she was playing with the dogs. She was playing with nobody.
Oh my God.
So I was like, what the fuck? Fast forward, I know you had like a horrible dream about that desk where you literally were like scared for like weeks, Myra.
Oh yeah.
I was like, are we gonna have to take Myra to
remember.
church or something?
Yeah.
Like dead ass.
It was like, okay, do you remember The Exorcism of Emily Rose, where like she sees somebody and they literally like turn evil like in front of her?
Oh my God.
Like she was seeing stuff. It was literally like that.
Oh fuck that.
So it was like a dream where I was looking out the hallway and to the living room was that desk and it was like dark but like spotlight on that.
Oh hell.
And I remember like there was like pigs and just like like very creepy looking animals like typing really fast and laughing and looking at me. And I don't know why I thought I had seen like the devil and it like scarred the fuck out of me. I remember I was mortified that I was just, I don't even know, like
you were like really spooked for like weeks, Myra. I remember
like I was so scared.
I remember one time we were watching the news.
We were watching the news and they had a mugshot of somebody.
And you started crying.
And I remember seeing like her face mortified.
And you thought she looked, and the lady was just like smiling.
Oh my God, yeah.
And you were like, like you started having a panic attack.
Yeah.
I remember my mom was even like, are we gonna have to take her to church? Like, what the fuck is going on with Myra?
I know, it was so weird.
Yeah, Myra was acting weird for a little bit. After that.
Yeah. And a lot of it also too had to be like mentally, like if I let it, I feel like at some point I had to be like strong-minded, like no, like I'm not gonna let you fuck with me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, at some point I had to like really like no, snap out of it. Yeah,
it was weird
because I couldn't go like literally like the movie The Exorcism of Emily Rose, when she goes out she can't even look people in the face because they're like they turn into like something else. Like I literally would look at somebody in the eyes and I would see pure evil.
Oh my God.
I don't know why.
That's so scary.
And it did concern me for a minute. I'm like, what is
it's
going
very
on
concerning
with me?
because a lot of people, that little area where that desk was, it was just had a creepy vibe. After Jasmine was talking to something under there, you know, like how that happened, that situation happened. Myra had a dream about that and that whole situation happened. So then my dad is like cleaning under the house.
But didn't my mom have like somebody to come bless the house like after that whole situation?
Yes.
With me? That's how bad it was.
No, let me tell you why they had someone come bless the house.
Oh, yeah.
Because my dad goes under the house looking for, I don't know what, because like mobile homes, like it's like, it has a
level.
It's leveled. So my dad went under the house, and right under where the desk is at, he found a bunch of voodoo dolls, bitch.
And black candles.
Black candles, voodoo dolls. The previous owners were doing witchcraft in that bitch.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Got the chills.
Literally, and my dad like threw it in the trash.
My dad was pissed. My dad was like, we're not having that negative shit. My dad straight up threw those in the fucking trash. Yeah. My dad's very, when it comes to that, he's more like, if I stand up for us and say fuck you, like they can't get close to me, period. My dad's very like, you're not allowed in my bubble area. I mean,
it's crazy because I feel like some people think like blessing a home won't do anything, but if you think about it, nothing ever after that happened.
Dude, that's the crazy part.
Now that I think about it.
So after my dad found that, he told my mom, I think like, I don't remember ever seeing them, but he was pissed and he was like, they did fucking witchcraft here. And there was fucking voodoo dolls and candles, y'all, under that fucking desk where everybody has had weird situations, y'all. Dead ass. Uh-huh. So then my mom has a priest come bless, or was it? No.
I think it was a priest.
Like he came to bless the house and they, do everything. Nothing ever happened after that. Nothing ever happened after that. And you know what?
Sometimes I think about it because I'm like, Luis lives there. I'm like,
yeah, there's never been situations after that.
Because like we'll talk about it, and Marissa was like, oh my God, don't tell me. And I'm like, yeah, that's weird that they've never experienced anything. But I'm like, no, like not to be like, seriously, after they bless the home, nothing happened.
Never again.
And to go from
guys, and that's
paranormal
shit,
things happening every day to nothing is crazy.
And everybody in that household could tell you guys about several 100%. Situations that were just fucking sketchy.
Yeah.
So my dad finding that all that voodoo shit was like, it almost like confirmed everything. It's just so weird how everybody had weird situations with that one spot.
So, but the person that lived before there, she was the one that, and my mom knew her. She sold the house to my mom, remember?
She did.
And it's just like trippy because now I'm like, wait, did she like put any curse or anything in that house? Because she was really, I remember when she sold it to my mom that she like tried to back out after. My mom was like, I already bought it. I can't give it back to you.
Yeah, like girl, you already.
And like she kind of was like angry about it because she didn't want to like let go of the house.
She was angry about it, and she tried to like put oil or some shit like around the house.
She did like her little.
Let me explain. And it was actually fucking funny at the end because my dad put her on blast.
That shit was hilarious.
So this bitch, right? She had her little. She did her little witchcraft.
This had nothing to do with her. Like, this was years after. She just, like, hated my mom.
No, this was, like, a couple years after she sold my mom the house. And she still lived, like, within the community. It wasn't a couple
years, Gorge. It was, like, years.
I forgot, but she lived within the same community.
She was just, like, really envious, too.
I think she was just,
my
like,
mom,
where she held resentment that she sold it to my mom for a good price at the time. I don't know. So I remember she's there was so always fucking weird, though. Because, like, she literally went over to my mom's house. And I guess like there was like oil in the front of the porch, so there was like oil that had been spilled.
And there was like tierra like from the cemetery.
Yeah, dirt from the cemetery in front of the house, whatever. Like where someone tried to do some shit, but we didn't even notice it, I guess.
Mm-hmm. This is how we are. Like, my mom didn't notice it. She probably thought it was just fucking, like, dust or something. And she pulls up to my mom's house. She's like, alguien te trató de hacerte brujería.
Yeah, like, someone tried to do witchcraft on you. So she pulls up to my mom's house saying, like, look, they did it. There's this and that. And my mom's like, what? Like, I never seen that.
And my mom,
shit.
too, like, she had no idea it was her.
My mom was freaked out. She was like, oh, my God, who the fuck came to my house and tried to do this, right?
And, like, this bitch all acting like, oh, my God, like, acting like she obviously didn't do it. And my dad knew. She was like, it was that bitch.
My dad got a feeling because, like, he just knew that she was, like, weird. And that she was like, she was a previous owner. Yeah. She did it.
And my dad, she's like, es una pinche bruja fue ella. Like, my dad was so mad. My mom didn't believe it. Like, how are you going to blame her?
So my dad, he didn't tell her to her face, but he was telling my mom, like, it was her.
Yeah.
So then, Myra, the next day, I don't know if you know about this part, how they went to her house. I don't know if it was that same day or the next day, but they went to the lady's house.
I think my dad got into my mom's head like it was her. So they dug up her trash can.
My dad digs up this woman's trash. And he finds gloves full of oil, the same oil that was all over our porch.
Like, girl, Ew.
So what did my dad do?
Knock, 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 bitch.
These were in your fucking trash. And he shows her the gloves. He's like, you fucking bitch. It was you.
Yeah.
Because my dad was like, we're not having this
she
shit.
was flabbergasted.
Pinche bruja. He was telling her, like, you fucking witch. Literally, because that's what she was, I guess. He's like, how dare you? Like, how dare you show up
How dare you try
and
to
tell
do
us,
that?
like, oh, someone did witchcraft. Someone did witchcraft. He's like, they're in your fucking trash. It was you. And she denied it. She denied it. She denied it. But it was definitely her. But it was just, that's a little funny story.
She was like flabbergasted.
And she was shook. Bitch, she
Like,
didn't know
girl,
what to do.
you and we knew because like we knew of her past with all the shit we found under the house.
I think my dad was just so over that shit. Like, so many negative vibes brought from like her witchcraft and stuff. I don't know. It's just
He was like, how dare you try to bring anything like that to my family?
Yeah. But
oh my God.
I just remember my dad, like, he like told her straight up, like, you fucking witch.
Yeah.
Like, leave us the fuck alone. It was like some shit, but that happened.
You know what they say when someone tries to like curse you?
Mm-hmm.
There's a saying, and I wish I knew it, but it's like, everything that you bring to me, let it bounce right back to you.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
I remember my dad even saying,
but
I remember him even telling her, like, I'm gonna make a voodoo doll and the doll's gonna be you, like telling her shit, like,
why?
Obviously he didn't mean it, but he was saying like okay,
si te gusta, you know,
he was saying some shit like, I could do some witchcraft too, but he obviously wasn't gonna do it.
Yeah.
But I remember him making some comments about like that he told her, like, I'm gonna make a doll out of you or some bullshit. I was like, I can't.
Poke the shit out of it, Cord.
What?
Poke the shit out of it. What did you thought I said?
No, I don't know. I don't know. Nothing. Let's move forward. I thought I heard wrong. No, it was
okay.
No, yeah. Voodoo dolls are weird as fuck. Anyways.
Yeah. I don't know. The whole witch thing, girl, though, like,
in the Hispanic culture, brujeria, witchcraft is like so like, whoa, you know, scary.
I mean, it is, period.
And even it is. And then even with like, cuando te hacen ojo, you know, that's why you wear like your bracelets.
You know what? Okay, so you know how, I think it just depends how you think of it. So like, okay, Brian, right? Brian's very against anything of that. I'm like, no, Brian, like the bracelet, the necklace, anything with that ojo thing, it's to protect you. And he's like, no, that's all like, you know, witch stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, it just depends how you look at it.
Some people think that even wearing the ojo bracelet, that even that is witch activity. So
yeah. Or like how they say it will break when someone's like wishing bad on you or something.
Oh, hell no.
Like people will literally say like, oh, I've worn it, and the one time I hung out with this friend, it broke.
Yeah. Oh, fuck that.
Isn't that crazy? Mm-mm. And like, you know, like, oh, this is the girl.
Or when they do the egg limpieza on you. Guys, there's so many, like, if you're watching and you're not Hispanic, a lot of things like lead to spirituality.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll be sick.
Very spiritual.
You'll be sick and things are going on in your life. You're stressed. You're getting sick and people, and somebody will be like, well, they hicieron ojo. Like, what happened? Is someone out to get you? Did someone do like some witch voodoo shit on you? And sometimes they even give you like a cleanse with an egg. And they'll crack that egg and they'll be able to tell you like if there's some shit going on.
Yeah. I kind of believe in that. Like being cursed, right? Is that what it is? But then also I feel like I wouldn't go above and beyond to get like the egg cleanse or wear the bracelet. Like there's been moments like where I'm like, oh, maybe I should get the bracelet, but I'm like, what is it gonna do? Like, does it really do?
It's hard. I know what you mean.
Anything, you know what I mean? Or
I try to be very like positive and say like, if I don't allow that in my bubble and if I don't allow it in my aura and I don't, you know, if I think like that, sometimes I feel like that's kind of like,
or literally you're protected by the blood of Jesus Christ, girl.
Exactly.
I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, there's no way. But then like you do hear of like really crazy scenarios where you're like, girl, like you are cursed. You can't, there's like, you know, there, you know, certain people that like,
you're like,
things
what the
back
fuck?
to back happen to them. And you're like, you can't get a fucking break.
Oh, seriously.
So it's like, you know, but also, you know, it's just like, okay, say you thought you were cursed, right? So many bad things were happening. Would you go like above and beyond to get like an egg cleanse?
I would probably get like, if it were like that, where things were happening back to back. Because I feel like I know people, like one or two people where I'm like, oh my God, you are just put through shit.
Yeah.
like one thing after
and it's
another.
hard because,
and I do believe in that situation. I'm like, you need a spiritual cleanser. I don't know, because nothing. It's just crazy.
Yeah,
like the amount of stuff they will go through.
And it's like weird because certain things are like frowned upon, like the whole egg thing. Like they do say that's kind of like brujeria too, even to get cleansed, or like. Or like, you know, to some people like Brian too, he's very like, no, you don't need to wear that bracelet or whatever. Like I actually really, really wanted to, like, if we're gonna get a little deep, like around like the whole situation with my baby, bitch, I thought like something was up. I really thought. There's so many, like, you know, my gender reveal, like me going into like just so many things leading up to even like having my baby. It was like,
it was just bad vibes,
very bad vibes, back to back bad luck. Like literally couldn't get a fucking break. And I remember telling Brian, I'm like, I really want to get like a bracelet, and he was like, no, like that's you're almost like inviting spirits doing that. And I'm like, I wonder like if that really does actually work from certain things like that happening. You know what I mean? Like it makes you actually think. Cause like, and I know some people see it like it's bad, but like Tamara from The Real, she's like a full on Christian and she wears her red bracelet. Her kids have a red bracelet. I'm like, maybe it's not like as bad as people make it seem.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I want to actually.
I think it's like a preference thing, Mara. Like,
yeah, I want to get your guys' opinions because I have considered it. I know even people even put it on their kids, like a little, you know, to protect them. I want to get your guys' input in the comments down below. Like, do you believe in it? Do you feel like you do get like full protection with it? You know what I mean? And is it like, I think it's viewed differently certain religions, but the fact that Tamara is like a full Christian and she wears that, it makes you think, you know, like maybe it's not what people make it seem. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Or like, you know, like is it bad like to go get a cleanse here and there?
Yeah, let us know in the comments,
like an
you
egg
guys.
Cleanse.
There's just so much in that like world of brujeria and all that. There's even, you know, like what do you think about people who, like aside from superstitions and shit, people who are gifted and like they literally feel when shit's happening. Yeah. They almost feel when something bad is gonna happen, like that. You're not necessarily going to like a bruja
you're not even
or anything. You're not practicing anything, but you just have those vibes where you're like, oh my god, like I fucking knew some shit was gonna happen. There's people like that, and I like to think that every person has gifted. A little bit of it, because gut intuition is so fucking real, Myra. Very. When they tell you listen to your gut, it's always right. I feel like each and every one of us have a little bit of that, where when you trust your own gut, a lot of times it's right. And that's some weird shit on its own. But sometimes people will literally like see shit or
vibes are real.
Vibes are so real, bitch.
They are so, it's energy.
It's all energy, Myra.
Do you feel like
water holds a lot of energy?
Water?
Right? So
wow, I didn't know that.
Crystal was actually telling us, our producer was telling us about how, you know, it's a thing. It's a big thing. I hadn't heard about it, but I'm sure a lot of you guys are in the comments are going to be like, yeah, that's a thing. Where if you take your baby to the beach or like a big, like big water, you know, a lot of nature or things like that. And they're, you know, before the age of 1, a lot of times before you leave, they'll like clap 2 wood sticks together or something like that, where you're calling basically babies that young, they have like a connection to like their past life, right?
The spiritual world, I think,
because of the spiritual world.
Like their spirits are just very connected.
But so I saw it on TikTok as well. Something about like
we're all saying it wrong.
Something about like the past life and the current life blending
I don't think
together.
It's past life. I think they're just really connected to the spiritual world still.
Because of that, though. Because I don't know, something like that, right? And water actually holds a lot of energy. So they say that, you know, their soul could roam in the ocean, and you have to like, you know, clap it back to like let the soul know, come back to this body. And it is a superstition that if they leave, your baby could leave without its soul.
Whoa.
And it makes you think about like when, you know, it's just weird. I don't know. It's something like that. I've heard it was something like that, guys. You know, you guys could correct us.
That's crazy. But I do believe babies and just kids in general, they're very like spiritual because they see a lot of things.
Kids see shit. Sometimes kids, little kids, like sometimes toddlers will say some shit, and you see it online all the time. They'll say some shit that you're like, how the fuck would you possibly know this?
Yes.
I think toddlers and kids in general, like
They see
things.
Yeah.
I think they do.
Going back to like having like that
sixth
gut
sense.
feeling or sixth sense. Do you have you ever had that moment, Karina, where you're like, shit, if I practice this a little bit, I might just like be good at it?
I've never thought of that for sure.
You've never like felt like you're like psychic or whatever?
I've had moments where I'm like, where I have a feeling about something, where like
nothing major,
or I'll be thinking about like somebody, but nothing major, where I'm just like, oh shit, you know what? I actually thought about this right before this, and they're like,
no,
but nothing crazy. No.
I've told you, right, Karina, how I literally have always thought I'm like psychic.
You have, yeah.
Like,
you and Luis.
Luis is very like intuitive too.
Mm-hmm.
Luis is very like, he'll look at you and he'll kind of almost tell you like, I think you're gonna do this in your life.
When I was pregnant with Mia, Luis had came over that day, and he was like, you're pregnant. And I was like, Luis, I literally took a test days ago. I'm not pregnant.
The same thing happened.
I took that same day he told me that. I was like, I'm gonna take a test just for the fun of it. I'm fucking pregnant, bitch.
I was
like, what the fuck?
Hold on. You have to tell them, because I remember you had tested before and you weren't. And that same morning, I told you.
You told me. You did too?
I told you, I'm like, you're pregnant. I dreamt last night that you were pregnant. You're like, no, I just took a test. I tested negative.
You absolutely did. Now that I'm remembering, actually, Luis's was a previous pregnancy. It was in LA. So that was like, I think
I predicted the
you predicted this. You predicted Mia's.
Yeah, and I was right, and I knew it. I told you, I'm like, you're pregnant, and you're like, what? I'm like,
I told you, I was like, I just took a test. I'm negative,
and I was like, you're pregnant. I was so confident about it,
and I was,
and you were. I'm like, yeah, like
That's
I will
crazy.
sometimes. I'm like, oh, I was wrong. Like I really thought she was a boy, but that was just me like wanting you to have a boy.
You thought Mia was a boy,
yeah, but like. I never really like what I really felt. Does that make sense? But I've had some crazy. I don't even want to call it. Like I always joke, like I'm a witch, but like we're not witches, girl. We are just gifted. Definitely not witch vibes. But like in middle school, like for example, I used to have a crush on this boy, and I'm not exaggerating when I tell you this. I predicted every haircut he got.
Yeah,
I literally would trip myself out. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come today. He got a haircut over the weekend, and he would have his haircut.
Damn,
I was like never wrong, ever. I would go to the shopping place with the boutiques. What is it called?
Okay, just boutiques.
Yeah, those boutiques, like when I would go, like I just knew if I was gonna see somebody. But what were those places called?
Oh, yeah. When you go to the shops and you have, there's like
it was like the shops and we would go to the shops, and like I would predict if I saw somebody that maybe I had a little bit of conflict with, I would walk in there knowing like that gut feeling, like, oh, I'm gonna see somebody I don't like.
That's the gut feeling that I'm talking about. When something uneasy is gonna happen.
Uneasy.
And you have just an uneasy feeling. You're like, I don't know, something's weird. And then you'll see someone you don't like, or something weird happens with conflict. I feel that kind of shit.
And I was never wrong with that. I would walk in and I was like, oh, you're here. Fuck, Yeah. What else? A lot of things. Even sometimes when I think of somebody and I'm feeling very unwell of something, I'm like, why am I feeling this? Like, I don't want to feel this about this person. Like, what's going on, Oh, yeah. And yeah, certain things like weird things that have happened that I'm like, ew, like I actually months ago, like just had that random thought and like it happened. Yeah. I know.
What?
Crazy. No, certain things that just, or like.
Tell me after.
Yeah, I'll tell you after. And like, oh my God, certain people that like get pregnant, Karina, I just have feelings. I'm like, she's pregnant. I just know she's pregnant. And then they announce it and I'm like, I knew it. oh, I know what you're having too. Like super intuitive, Karina.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Yeah, like I just
you're really intuitive. You are.
I feel like I was wrong with Karina. Like, you know, it's fine, but I'm very like I could almost tell you like my future children, like the sexes. I'm so confident of what I think they'd be. Like it's so weird. Like what is a fucking reason?
What do you think our next kids are, Mara? Just say it. You
no,
never
because
know.
I'm gonna be wrong. I could be wrong.
If you are wrong though, it's fine. But what is your gut tell you about like my future kids?
I don't know.
You gotta be honest.
I feel
with
like,
me.
but that's not how it is. I feel like I have to like feel it. Like, you know what I mean?
Huh.
Like you,
I know
like
what
I
you
would
mean.
just like you know somebody randomly like I'm getting pregnancy vibes. Like I'm gonna know you're pregnant. Like I just know you're pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to see it like fucking 10 years before. You know what I mean?
I get it.
It's so weird. Like I would have to feel it one day to tell you like I think you were. You know?
I know what you mean.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like because even for myself, I'm like I don't know. Like sometimes I'll say like I think I'm gonna be a boy mom. Like I'm gonna have a boy next. But then I'm like, no, I'm gonna have a girl next. Like I'm gonna have a girl next, and then I'm gonna have 2 boys after. Like so weird.
I know what you mean.
So weird. I'm like, okay, I might just be in my head, just inventing stuff at this point, you know?
No, I get it though.
But there is certain things. Like I'm not saying I'm like, oh my god, extremely psychic, but I do feel like if I really like, you know, practiced it, which I'm not. But there's just certain things that I could predict. Like I literally have had friends where like if I'm just cleaning and I have a random thought like them having a baby, like a random like I don't want to say vision, it's just like a random thought. And then a couple weeks later, like, oh, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, I literally just thought about you being pregnant like last week, girl. Like it's so weird. And you ended up having a girl and I literally had imagined you with a little girl. Like crazy. Yeah. My mom is very intuitive and I don't even think she knows it.
Yeah, she don't even know it.
Like with Karina, my mom literally dreamt a girl.
She dreamt of Raul walking with a little girl. And it's funny because we have a little girl now that's like a big daddy's girl.
Before you knew the sex of
and
the baby.
She's such and if I could describe Mia's life, it is her with walking with her daddy. Like she's such a daddy's girl.
Yeah, like and when I was pregnant, like she dreamt of a boy. And it was a boy. So it makes me think like future pregnancies. I'm like, I want to ask her like, what do you think it is? Because I feel like she's right. She's intuitive, but she doesn't notice it.
Yeah. It's just like so crazy. All this.
I feel like everybody has a gift. Some people just have it a little bit more sensitive than others.
Enhanced. Yeah.
Yeah. I really believe that. It's
so crazy, huh?
It's freaking insane.
I wanted to talk about like in general, like superstitions. No. Yeah. Like superstitions and like these old wives' tales or like these things that you hear about in Mexico. Like, I don't know what it is. You always hear of like La Llorona. You hear of like los duendes and shit.
Oh yeah,
you hear of all kinds of shit, bitch. The stories my parents have told me about Mexico or my grandma, like stories that I'm like, how the fuck is this real? Like, because they're so crazy, the stories.
And then like, you know how like, I mean, I'm not saying every Mexican is, but like our stories are really, really juicy. Like juicy, the house. And I'm like, y'all making it juicy to make it juicy, or did that really happen?
Because I feel like even my own experiences, like I could only tell them in a certain way that it happened. Like I can't really dress it up. It's like that's how it happened. That's just
how it is.
But you hear stories in Mexico and you're like, yo, that's scary.
Yeah, like the Llorona.
Very detailed stories.
The Llorona is like I think even like you don't even have to be like Hispanic to know what the Llorona is. I feel like it's very like worldwide at this point. But yeah, it's mom that drowned her kids in the river, right?
And then she's like going around saying mis hijos. She's like haunting, asking for her kids.
Yeah, and even my dad said he's heard her.
My dad said that he saw her in a reflection of a lake or some shit like that, like in the water, like in Mexico, in the Rio, I think, in the river. That they like heard somebody and that they saw like her like white like.
The fact that the movie was in LA, bitch, I was like, y'all couldn't take this shit to Mexico.
It was in LA.
You don't remember the movie?
I didn't fucking watch it.
Somewhere like in Hollywood, I was like, are you joking?
Oh my god.
I'm like, y'all couldn't take it to the rancho or something?
Like so many
done
fucking
something amazing.
Have y'all been to the rancho, bitch? Like that shit is spooky. At night, it's spooky. Like they could have done some shit in Mexico.
They could have. You know, I also think because I'm like, oh my god, why are all the spooky? Because, you know, like, you try to be realistic. I'm like, nah, they're just making this up, you know? Why is it all just, like, in Mexico? But also, what if those spirits are more comfortable in, you know, the wilderness? And not the wilderness, because the rancho is not the wilderness. But it's, like, more, like, sedated places. Sedated? What am I saying? Secluded places.
Sedated is like drugged out, no? Like,
literally sedated, like dead. Like, girl, what's going on?
What is the reason?
No, but you know what I mean? Like places where, like, you know, it's more like nature and where it's not so busy. Like, or maybe also, you know, you're just more alert with certain things because there's not like a bunch of people distracting you, and you're more like, you know, focused. I don't know. But they have some crazy stories.
That's some crazy. I've been hearing stories from Mexico that give me the chills, bitch.
There's got to be something made up, though.
No, because my parents will say, like, personal stories, and I'm like,
personal stories? Like when, who was the one that, like, somebody had passed away and that they saw them in the morning, they even, like, saludar them, and they were like, this person died, like, last week?
I don't know, but I'm thinking of the one where my mom, like, when her friend passed away.
Oh.
That one scared me for life, dude.
That one?
This girl passed away at 15, and her friend,
and they were like peleadas,
and they were, I think they were like feuding a little bit at the time, and like the night before her funeral, or something like that, the night before, that she saw her, that she dreamt of her in her quinceañera dress, that the girl was in her quinceañera dress.
No, it was like the night after the funeral.
Oh, was it after?
I'd seen her in the quinceañera dress.
Oh, okay, she was buried in her 15 dress.
That's terrible.
So and my heart, and that she felt like literally like the veil, like she felt it like on the bed, scratching on the bed.
She heard it like on the tocador, I think.
Yeah,
like she heard it like scratching. She could hear it.
Yeah, and that she even felt somebody talk to her ear.
That she tried to tell her something.
Tried to whisper to her in her ear.
And that she like opened her eyes and she could just see like a light. Remember?
It was just like bright. Yeah,
like, it was just a bright light. And she tried to whisper something in my mom's ear, and my mom got so like spooked, terrified, that she shared a room with my grandma, and that she literally jumped from her bed to my grandma like screaming. My mom ended up getting like an ear infection and everything.
I was gonna say,
like, because literally
she says that like when she heard it, her talk to her in her ear, that like it hurt. And my mom literally got like an ear infection. We're like, oh my god.
Like, how do you scientifically prove that to people? Like, you got an ear infection after this, girl.
That's fucking weird, dude.
Like, girl, something was up. You don't just get an ear infection just like that.
That's so scary.
Like, you know, like that's so crazy. That's insane. Oh my god, you know, I wish I was more prepared in this podcast, because there was like a story I had heard of a family. It was somewhere like not Connecticut, like Illinois, somewhere like over there, about a house, and this is like a true story. Like, you can Google it, and I wish I like knew more of it, but I was actually watching like an episode. It was that one thing we were watching at Florrie's.
It's called.
Oh man,
I forgot.
I don't know what it's called, y'all, but it just shows a lot of like spooky stuff. They even talk about the suicide forest and everything.
Oh my god.
Like all those things. So that was one of those storylines. Like, that house was super, super haunted. Literally, like, CPS was even called because the little boy had like stuff on him, like bruises and stuff. And CPS got involved, and the mom was like, I promise you there's like activity going on in here. Like, it was like some crazy stuff going on.
Oh my god.
He ended up being hospitalized because he was getting sick at some point. Like, it was fully affecting her kid. And that they realized it was like demonic because the little boy ended up crawling backwards on the wall.
Where?
On the wall in the room, the hospital room.
Oh my god.
And that the doctor was even like, we are dealing with something very, like, they had never seen that. Like, they couldn't even prove, like, how does a body climb backwards on a wall? And if you actually Google it, it's a real thing. Like, the doctor says this, like, the doctor speaks about it.
Oh, fuck.
Like, it's a true story. How do you prove that to somebody that doesn't believe in that? Like, you saw a kid walking backwards on a wall. How is that even possible in a hospital? And they were doing blood work, and they just couldn't figure out what was wrong with the child.
Absolutely not.
And they had to do, like, an exorcism. And like
Absolutely
obviously like, you know, they dropped whatever case. I don't know, because she was like, they had to call CPS on that. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh my God, I need to find it. Go off, girl.
We are, listen, y'all. I know there's a lot of spooky talk right now, but all positive vibes here, Gorge, because I know you're probably listening, and if you're alone, you're probably like, I don't want to be hearing this alone. It's okay, girl. It's okay. We're all here together, and we're not letting these spooky stories or these spooky vibes anywhere near us, girl. You gotta walk around and be like, listen, that shit don't come near me, period.
Right away when you Google it. When he arrived in the emergency room, things took an even darker twist when he escaped his family's grip by scrambling up a wall. The spine-chilling incident involved the Ammons family from Indiana in the USA. It was written up as an official report. Witnesses, including a family case manager, also gave detailed accounts of what happened to the police, which were captured on the cops' body cams and can be seen in the video above. Hold on.
No, click on that.
There's a video, Gorge.
You are not about to watch that.
Should we watch it?
No,
you know what? Because when it comes to demonic stuff, I don't watch. Like when people are getting like exorcisms.
Fuck all that.
Karina, there's a video. I'm telling you, if you Google this story, you guys, it's a real thing.
Absolutely not. I'm not watching that.
And it's just so many things happened. There was also another house too, where it was like super, like, I think from the beginning when they built it, they had done it to be like demonic, because the house from on top was an upside down cross. They built it to be an upside down cross. The house.
How does a house build?
I don't know. But it was like an upside down cross.
Absolutely not.
And this house was like super, obviously people, you know, talked about their experiences there. They couldn't be there, whatever. And yeah, they had like a group of people go. This is the same show on Netflix that I was talking to you about. I wish I knew the name. I know people are going to be like, girl.
Isn't it called like Unexplained something?
Unexplained Story Events? Oh. Is it Unexplained Events?
I don't know. Dude, there's some scary shit out there. Like even with movies, Myra, like I love scary movies, but I'm the kind that will be like literally the entire time I'll be covering my face.
I think it's The Unexplained. Ooh. On Netflix. Please, you're gonna watch that story,
guys,
of the kid crawling up the walls.
It's pretty fucking good.
And there's another story about the upside down cross one. They actually they took like a thermometer, or not necessarily a thermometer,
it's
but
the ones that detect the warm, like the
detected
wave.
Right?
Yeah.
And where somebody had passed on a couch, they were going to it dropped to like, I think 40 degrees. And they're like, why is it so cold in that zone where he passed?
No.
Like, you know, they say where it's cold, like really, really cold, like usually it's like something bad.
Oh, I'm scared, dude.
You would think it's hot, right?
I don't know, girl.
It's creepy.
That's too much.
I'm feeling a little chilly, Gorge. I'm just kidding.
The AC's right in front of us.
I know.
Are you like a movie person that likes scary movies? Because I feel like I could watch some spooky vibes, but I'm here for like the Disney spooky.
I'm here for Halloween Town.
I'm here for Hocus Pocus. Insidious, bitch.
Oh, girl. You know what I don't understand?
That's fuck.
People that can watch movies without going like this, like covering their eyes.
I literally wrote.
You ever like actually stayed watching? You're like, oh fuck, I just saw a whole thing.
Nope. On
accident.
Where on accident, I'll see a jump scare and I did not cover my eyes. Bitch, I will scream.
Yeah, same. Have you seen the trailer of that like Smile movie?
Huh?
Oh my god! Can I please play it? I'm gonna play it.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna play it.
Smile?
Yeah.
Oh hell no, bitch.
Smile.
That's all I had to hear was Smile.
That's all you had to say. I'm sorry. Why did she look so creepy?
Oh my god. Oh hell no. Absolutely
not. Karina, please.
No, I swear to God, I don't fuck with shit like that, dude. Don't show me. Why the fuck are you showing me?
Do you see how it starts upside down?
Nah, no, because that bitch's face was scary. No, I can't do that, Myra. Why are you doing this to me, Myra? Stop. Karina, Myra, this is too much for me. Karina, I'm sorry. I don't do scary shit like this.
The point is, this trailer, I'm not ruining the movie.
I'm not fucking watching it.
I think the movie comes out on the 30th.
I'm literally not going to watch it.
Well, let me tell you.
You know what I'm going to watch? Hocus Pocus, bitch.
The fact that they come out the same day is a little crazy.
No, because that bitch, the fucking picture alone, popping up on the screen, please. You know,
Can we please pop it on the screen?
hell no. Oh
Okay.
my god, that shit. That's
So,
all I
Karina,
have to see was that
On
ugly
the
ass
trailer.
bitch. Oh my god.
On the trailer, Karina. On the trailer, literally, like this girl's getting. I'm not like ruining anything. This is on the trailer. She's like trying to get help. She's like, I see people smile and like, you know.
Oh my
And
god.
then
no.
and the freaking
No.
therapist, guess what she does? Smiles. She smiles.
No, that's my trigger, bitch. I can't. That's like
She's like
that's-
getting help and she's like starts smiling at her. I
Oh
was
my
like,
God. Oh my
not the freaking therapist possessed, Gorge.
No,
the
because
only
you-
last help you can get.
Oh my god, I can't. I don't even think I will bring myself to watch
Karina,
it.
you have
Myra.
to Can you please just do it for the podcast?
No, because I'm a
Karina,
fucking-
I watched it.
Myra, I
Karina,
think
it would be so funny, please.
I'm gonna cry. Like I don't
No,
fuck
can
with
you
shit like
just
this.
Please watch it.
Oh, my
I'll
God.
watch it with you.
Okay, you have to watch it too. You were just doing this, bitch.
Well, I watched it already.
Myra, I'm so you don't understand that this is the kind of shit that haunts my nightmares. God. Oh hell no! What the fuck is going on?
My patient.
Why is the patient smiling?
I know you're nervous.
Myra, I cannot do this shit. I'm so sorry.
I'm seeing something no one else can see except for me. It's smiling at me.
That's
I
it.
can't do it, Myra. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm sorry. Okay.
No, because this shit will like. I am the kind of nope. So fucking literally not. This is the kind of look. I will say, whoever invented this movie, incredible
Queen.
Because smiles are a little creepy sometimes.
They are.
When you think of scary shit and smiling, that's why people are scared of clowns and shit. You know, absolutely not. I will never watch that movie.
No, we had to watch it.
No,
Wait.
Myra. I literally, if I watch Insidious, I'm not kidding you. I am not kidding you. I will sleep with the lights on for a month. I'm
Remember
not fucking kidding.
that one movie where like she gets like pulled out of the car or something?
I don't know. Even that was a Freddy movie, bitch. And I was terrified. Raul was like, really? I was like, yeah, that motherfucker's scary. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm a little bitch when it comes to that.
This
like,
movie-
truly, I can't do it.
After I saw this Smile trailer, every time like we joke about it, like Brian was like literally yesterday in the morning, he's like, why are you smiling at me like that? I'm like, stop. And he was like joking that I was like gonna look in the mirror and I was gonna be smiling at myself. I'm like,
my
if
God.
you don't shut up,
Nope.
like
Nope.
I'm gonna
Nope.
scare myself. Have you ever scared yourself in the mirror?
Yeah, you're smiling and you're like,
And you're like, why am I doing this to myself right now?
why am I scaring myself?
yeah.
Like, why do I see a little evil in her? I don't know.
yeah, literally.
Like, I'm scared of her. Imagine, like,
Oh my, no, we have to watch that movie. Just
okay, I might watch it, Myra, but
I feel like
I'm
I would watch
telling
it
you,
with my friends, but like I would have my eyes closed all the time.
I'll watch it with Elizabeth because I know she'll be scared with me. Elizabeth don't fuck with shit like
No,
that
but
either.
Elizabeth don't mess with that because she's very like, you know, you attract things.
Yeah,
And
no, I can't.
and also like maybe we should start practicing that because maybe
Practicing
you
what?
do like invite certain things.
Practicing what?
like not watching it.
Oh, I mean, I don't. It's not about that. It's to me, it's more like I'm scared.
Yeah, you're like I'm gonna see a bitch smiling at me.
Too
at
many
night.
jump scares and all that shit. I can't do it, bitch.
No, I can't.
Nope.
The fact that she tries to get help from her therapist and she ends up smiling at her, insane.
When you just say it like that, it sounds funny.
I know.
She just smiles at her.
Like no, but it's so creepy. Like it's just so.
Absolutely not. That picture, Myra, is all I had to see was a front cover to know I'm never gonna watch that shit. Gorgeous.
Yeah, she
Nope.
does look a little scary, honestly.
In fact, I'm done. I gotta go. Imagine like, I feel like we've been rambling, girly.
Yeah, damn, girl.
But I'm sending you all the positive vibes, all that
Positive
spooky
vibes.
shit.
Every
Bye.
negative thing leaves this room now. Period.
Now, anyone listening, all positive vibes only. Period.
All positive vibes
Period. Gorge.
around this room, through the screens. Every
Absolutely.
negative thing that does not belong leaves.
Get the out.
You gotta cuss them out.
Yeah.
ahead.
Anyways, guys.
Oh, I was like, go ahead. I thought you were gonna go cuss them out.
Girl.
You're like, I don't know want to do that, Gorge.
I don't know.
But we hope you guys enjoyed episode 28. Spooky season is officially
It's
here.
officially
y'all.
here, you guys. These next few episodes are gonna be really fun. Costumes and all. We're here for it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and
We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
girl, this morning I had a big old bowl of sucaritas. It was so good.
Girl, don't you mean Frosted Flakes?
Well, in our culture, girl, I've also heard Los del Tigre. So,
And what do you call Fruit Loops?
Fruity Loopies, mama.
Oh, Los del Tucán, right?
There you go. And I also really like the rooster one.
You mean Conflays?
Oh my God, wait, that is cornflakes. The rooster one is cornflakes, but we call it cornflakes.
Call it Cornflakes.
Well, let's keep it 100, girl. My mom called every cereal under the sun cornflakes.
The Special K too.
The Special K2, girl. My mom called literally growing up.
Everything is Conflays, period.
Comment below. You already know.
So, Mia, are you teaching her like the different flavors, or are you calling them all Conflays too?
I refer to them just like my parents did growing up because I actually find it really important to teach Mia both English and Spanish. Not just the language, but really incorporating like the lingo that we use. I will literally like bring out cereal and be like, you want Conflays? You want Sucaritas? Because I want that implemented in her just like we grew up. Mm-hmm. And mama, that's why they say Kellogg cereals are on mom's tables aquí y allá. Period.